banging.
Oh my god, I have been slacking way too hard. I have a lot of catch-up to do right now, and catch-up is what we're gonna play. The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a movie that defies explanation. Whatever comes from viewing it, I'm sure I won't be able to properly review the experience. Except to say I am sure I have seen the strangest movie of the year. Robert Eggers' last movie, The Witch, is one of the best horror films made in recent years. And was the single best film I saw in all of 2016. Fucking mind-blowing, amazing, amazing. That movie had a running theme of feminism, and was about a young girl resisting the chains of family and society, and choosing her own path. The Lighthouse seems to burn heavily with masculinity, injected with heavy doses of madness and confused identity. Or maybe it's about fucking mermaids? You know, because he fucks a mermaid in the movie? I have no fucking idea. The King in Yellow was a book about insanity too, and featured short stories about people who read a play by the same name, and were all driven mad by it. I guess The Lighthouse is about a lighthouse that drives people mad. Well, two people. Or one person? You see what I mean when I say this movie can't be explained? As far as I can tell, it's about two lighthouse keepers looking after a lighthouse for 4 weeks in the 1900s. I think? Robert Pattinson is the younger, newer keeper who had previously been a lumberjack. Willem Dafoe is the seasoned vet, who informs Pattinson that the other lighthouse keeper lost his mind and died. I won't mention their names. Much of the movie is the near cryptic conversations these two have among each other. They speak a form of Old English. So, like The Witch, you'll have to listen carefully. I tried my best, and I'm sure I missed every other word. Does it matter? Maybe. Important details are dropped along the way, and though I caught the gist of most scenes, I'm sure I missed key moments by the end. This is a lot of broken talking. But the movie is filled with crisp imagery too. A lot of it in the mundane and back-breaking labor Pattinson undergoes to care for the lighthouse. Dafoe orders him around since he is his subordinate, but relegates looking after the light up top to himself. He takes the night shift, which he claims is the one to fear the most. There's a sense of disbelief in the dialogue, and we realize that we have trouble believing what these characters tell each other because they don't believe it themselves. Both men have hidden pasts, and tell each other differing stories about who they are and what they've done. It's hard to know what's real and what's not. All the while, mysterious things begin to happen on and around the island they are on. Slowly but surely, they both go insane. Though I would say Pattinson is the beacon of insanity here. You can tell Eggers gave him total freedom to emote madness. Dafoe and him go so bonkers that it is sure to infuriate even the most patient moviegoers. Eggers also likes to play out long scenes of dialogue that are intentionally repetitive, to pound down these themes. The movie is also trying to drive you mad. Helping this is a claustrophobic 1:19:1 aspect ratio. You know, it's like super full screen. It's not widescreen. It's like, you know, a little tiny square box, you know, like this. So you feel like you're fucking trapped. With the entire movie being a little black and white box. The team went with naturalistic lighting, sticking a 600-watt halogen bulb in a kerosene lantern for that whole practical effect in some scenes. The sound design is perfect, which consists of booming and droning sounds from the machines of the lighthouse, and the constant squawking of the birds all around, and the waves. And by the end, I felt I had heard every twisted sound on the spectrum in a crucial shot. Eggers is a student of Kubrick for sure. Both this and The Witch are drenched in Shining references. The Lighthouse hits you over and over and over again with homages to that film. In the scenes, imagery, and even lines spoken. Even the whole premise of the damn thing. You know, trapped in some far getaway place, isolated. Instead of the Overlook Hotel, now it's, Overlook Lighthouse. You're just trying to scare me. What I liked this time is that Eggers has heavily incorporated 2001 in here as well. The opening goes for the very same thing as that space epic, and the incredible importance placed on the musical score and sounds. And I don't need to tell you that the lighthouse is the monolith. I like Robert Pattinson. He reminds me of Leonardo DiCaprio and Heath Ledger. He could have remained trapped in the pretty boy role he was doomed to in Twilight, but he persisted like Leo and Heath, working ever harder and collaborating with the best directors, and ones he always admired. This guy is a true talent. I'm even more excited for his Batman. The Lighthouse has not blown me away like The Witch did. I think I like it, maybe a lot. For most of the movie, I was nearly bored, up until that conclusion. There are two moments I thought the movie would end on before it did. The first would have been done in a worse movie. The second is the best moment in the entire film, but Eggers has it run just a minute or so longer, and I'm fucking puzzled by that decision, and I can't stop thinking about it. The abrupt and cheery song that hits over the end credits made me smile like no other movie this year. And I know Eggers now to be a huge troll. But he has trolled us in the right way. And not wrongly like Phoenix and Phillips in Joker. Now look at that! 2 movies released in the same month as Joker. Parasite and The Lighthouse. That have the courage to delve into similar ideas where the Joker failed to. With Parasite, it mercilessly presented social and class warfare. The Lighthouse has both real and imagined scenarios, and has the guts not to give us any answers. Joker cowardly told it to us all, and what it didn't wasn't worth debating anyway. Though I'm unsure about The Lighthouse overall, its final scenes have commanded me to see it again. If only to see if I really like it or just kinda like it. I'll tell you, most people are gonna despise this movie. My theater tonight had about 20 people, and most of them were old. Really old. The old couple sitting a few rows in front of me walked out just ahead of me when the end credits were done rolling. That was the worst picture, the woman remarked. Probably the worst picture of the century. Well, ma'am, I can't say I disagree. I had to hold back laughing because I was right behind them and it's just like the way she said it to her husband. Probably the worst picture of the century. It was like almost nonchalantly, like, you know, because they weren't talking during the movie. They were quiet, like passively, right in front of me, you know, a couple rows, and I you know, you can't tell how people are processing this sort of stuff, and just to know that she hated every second of it. But yeah, I just don't know really what to think about this movie. I'm tilting towards, you know, thumbs up that I liked it. It's weird. It's definitely not as good as The Witch. The Witch is fucking amazing. The Lighthouse is stranger, and it's like so intentionally experimental, you know, cryptic, esoteric, and it's just, oh, I gotta see it again. It might be a little too much, you know, but in a good way, but in a too much kind of way. I mean, if you can't see the greatness in The Witch, I think you're insane. But now for liking The Lighthouse, I know I'm insane. This movie is seriously buried in The Shining, though. Scene after scene, shot after shot, line after line, it's just obsessed with that movie. I mean, I know Eggers likes to hold for a long time on actors, but there are so many Shining references. It's absolutely insane. A little too many. Like that opening where he just, you know, starts with the shot of the black screen, which is like how Kubrick started 2001. We're looking at the monolith. I guess that's Eggers like winking at us, being like, "Hey, the lighthouse is the monolith." At the beginning of this movie, but the ending credits song, what a fucking troll! Oh, it's stuck in my head, and I played it. You know, when I got home, as I wrote my review, I just had it on loop in the background. Megalagos. I don't want to spoil it for you, but just definitely that juxtaposition between the final shot of the movie and what we hear. But you know, this is even more reason why I don't like Joker, is because in the same month it has come out, you know, Parasite and The Lighthouse have come out, and as I already explained, they all tackle similar themes, and Joker did not have the courage of its convictions. It was lame, it was surface level, it was almost insultingly simple, whereas Parasite delved deep, way deeper than I thought it would go on the disparity between the rich and the poor in ways I hadn't seen in a long time in a movie. And the Lighthouse has that same thing where it's like you don't know what's real and what's not, just like Joker did, but Joker gave you the fucking answers for most of these scenes, which is really fucking lame and stupid. Whereas the Lighthouse, to its credit, it does not give you really any answers. Honestly, that might be to its discredit. It's like missing the narrative through line, but I know that's the point, but it's good. That's why a lot of people are gonna have trouble liking it. It's a huge disconnect. There's nothing for you to really latch on to. You're supposed to just make of it what you will, and your interpretation of what it all means and the identities of the characters. And but again, I think it's good in a way that it'll appeal to people that like this kind of stranger experimental filmmaking. Whereas The Witch was just fucking amazing, like incredible. One of the best films I've seen, honestly, ever. I'm excited for more of Robert Eggers' movie. I heard he might be working on Nosferatu remake, which would be fucking amazing. I'd love to see what that guy can do with vampires, with the vampire. That's gonna be awesome. Oh man, but yeah, Pattinson fucks that mermaid. It was something else. They made it work.